Hi there. I am telling you the things I think you really need to know if you're going to live here in Columbus, Ohio. Keep on watching. Hey there, it's Riggs here, a realtor with Coldwell Banker King Thompson, bringing you all things real estate here in Central Ohio. I have been living here in Columbus, Ohio all of my life. I am no expert by any means, but I have lived here all of my life, born and raised here, so I feel like I have a very interesting perspective on what are the things you should know if you're considering living here. The first thing you should know is I think we have a very diverse population, and our city, in my opinion, has this really cool mix of like this suburban vibe and feel with a hip and cool urban feel too. And I love that because it attracts what I think we're looking for in our city. It attracts that younger, vibrant population, but it also gives us that awesome stability of that more mature population who are looking to call this place home and retire here. Like, you have to have both. You can't just have this like young, hip population, because as you get older, you want to settle and chill. You're not about to be at the bar every night. Like, you get into a different stage of your life and different things are important to you. So I love that we have this good mix because it makes our city focus on bringing things that attract everyone to our city, not just a younger audience or a more mature audience. I would also say we're diverse. When I look at our city, when I'm out downtown, I'm in the short north, I'm in Westerville, I'm in Dublin, you just see different faces. I see folks who look like me, folks who don't, folks who are from different cultures, different ethnicities. It is super cool. I actually was reading and I knew we had a large population, but I did not know we had the second largest Somali population in the US. I knew it was on the grow. I knew it had grown. I knew it was large, but the second largest is amazing. And I do believe we have a fairly large Bhutanese population as well, and obviously other ethnic groups in there too. So when you look out at Columbus and our surrounding areas, you're going to see different faces, which brings different cultures, different experiences, different types of food, all kind of unique things right here in the Midwest. I think it's pretty awesome. The second thing you need to know is there is no shortage of things to do here. We have plenty of things to do. So if you're just a person who loves various food places and bars for social hours, we got you covered in Columbus, in our downtown, in our short north. But what's really cool is in those different communities and neighborhoods, they all create their own sense of living that's not too far from home. So each of those areas has all of these little things too, so you don't have to go far to enjoy them. But if you're like me, I love food. I don't like to cook it, but I sure do love to eat it. So I love the really cool restaurants we have here that just brings you all different mixes and styles of food. But then I love outdoors as well. I love our parks, our museums, our art galleries. We do festivals throughout the year. Like, if you're an outdoor person or you're just looking for some really good family fun and you're not trying to kill your budget to enjoy these things, Columbus is it. Like, I go to other big cities. I've been to Chicago and New York and California, and I love those cities. Don't get me wrong. Those cities, those states are stunning, and they're all different in their own right. But I love the fact that we have a lot of that feel here in Columbus for way less money. Like, I'm a bit frugal, y'all. Like, I want to have a good time, but I don't want to be spending a whole lot of money. And I want to do it and not have to be too far from home. So I feel like if you're like me in any regard, you're going to be blown away about the stuff that you can do here. And if you just plan it out, you can have a year's worth of fun and then some, and still wouldn't have to do things twice. That might be a good thing for me to do on my channel, is to do that for a year. Idea. I might do that. Anyway, no shortage of things to do here. Come check it out. The third thing you need to know if you want to blend right in here in Columbus is we are a huge sports town. Right now, it is football season, and if you know anything about Columbus, you know it is all about the Ohio State Buckeyes for football. So if you're here in Columbus and you hear someone yell out, OH, you need to answer back with IO, and you will be just fine. The Ohio State University is here, so OSU Buckeyes football is huge here. We have the Ohio Stadium, seats well over 100,000 people, and I'm telling you on game day, don't be anywhere out but Ohio Stadium or at a cool tailgate, and you will be just fine. But if football's not your thing, don't worry. We got the other sports covered too, and I gotta make sure I give them some credit because they're pretty cool. We have the Columbus Blue Jackets for hockey, we have the Columbus Crew for soccer, and we have Columbus Clippers for baseball. And then we also have OSU basketball over at the Shot. And we just have a number of concerts here, and I already mentioned the festivals too. We love having fun here in Columbus. So again, if you want to blend right in, sports is it. If sports isn't your thing, just be fine. It's cool. I'm not a big sports person, but I love watching a good game here or there. So you're going to be just fine. It doesn't get too crazy, but we love our OSU Buckeyes. We love our Blue Jackets, our Clippers, our Crew. We're all about it here in Columbus, and it's not far from where you live. I mean, even if you're in our suburban areas, it's about 20 minutes away. Pretty neat that you can have that right in your backyard. Yeah, we're pretty cool. And the fourth thing you should know here is all about the weather. And I'm only mentioning this because I think there was an article that was talking about Columbus is one of the gloomiest cities. I felt a certain kind of way about that because I don't think it's that great here. Like, I don't really know what their criteria was, but I'm not knocking the article. I'm just saying, like, I feel like it's not as gray as some other cities that were on this list, but okay. But we do have all four seasons. So we have spring, summer, fall, and winter. But today we're in fall and it's like 50 degrees outside. Sun, beautiful day. So like, you know, it's all relative. Like, I feel like when it's gray, yes. When it's gray, it's gray. I'm always like, oh, it's like the perfect time to take a nap with your favorite blanket. Like, perfect. It's all about your perspective, how you look at this. But I just don't feel like we get the gloomy gray all the time the way I think this article was saying. But clearly I feel a certain kind of way, maybe because I'm biased, I don't know, but I'm presenting the information to you for you to consider. We have all four seasons, so it's going to be time for us to pull out those winter coats here shortly. You know, it is what it is, but when it's beautiful here, it's beautiful here, so come experience it. The fifth thing you want to think about is how do you get around here? And I think this is important to know. I actually have a relocation guide that I'm linking right here. I'll put it in the description box as well. I think this will be really helpful for you to know all of our transportation options here, but I'm going to highlight the two most important ones for you to know in this video. One, most residents here have their own transportation, and that's because we don't have trains or subways to rely on. We do have our public busing service through COTA, Central Ohio Transit Authority. So if you don't have your own vehicle, if you're coming from one of those other cities that rely on public transportation and you don't have your own vehicle, you're going to have to rely on our public busing, which is totally cool. Folks do it every single day. But again, we don't have trains or anything. So it's either going to be your own transportation or public transportation. Now we do have bike sharing options and scooters with like Kogo for bikes and Lime and Bird and I believe Lyft and even Uber for scooters, but those are going to be more central. You're not going to be going 20, 30 miles to work and back on those. I mean, you might, I know people who do bike like 20 miles to work. You're way out of my league. Way out of my league. So if you do that, kudos to you, because I would die. Literally die, okay? But if you're like me and you gotta have transportation, car or bus is your thing. But if you live kind of in those areas where you work, where you live, you could walk too. Folks do that. They choose to live where they can work. It's super cool to do. I'm not in that space, kind of envious to be honest, but super cool you have options. But make sure you check out this relocation guide, completely free to you. I put this together to be a resource for you to have some things to explore that are in print so that you can do some additional research outside of my video. I got you covered. The sixth thing you should know is we have a jumping workforce or the ability for you to find a job here. I think this is pretty cool. Obviously, in my opinion, you're not going to want to live anywhere where the economy is not strong, because it doesn't have you feel settled to uproot your life to a new city if you don't feel like you're going to be able to make it here. You know, overall, cost of living is still relatively affordable in comparison, and I believe we are still below the national average, which is huge. I believe our unemployment rate is at 4% or just below, and I believe that's either at or just below our national average too. So, you know, in the bigger scheme of things, we're sitting good. You know, I get this question quite often, is what industries are the ones that are kind of most known here? And I would call out, I would say the finance industry, education, healthcare, and e-commerce would be the ones I would think are the ones jumping most. And for me, that's driven by the fact that I think some of the largest companies we have here fit in those spaces. Companies like Ohio Health, Nationwide Insurance, the Ohio State University, and like JP Morgan Chase are the ones that come to mind. They're the most visible, in my opinion, the most visible, and some of the largest ones we have here. A whole host of other companies, and I talk about those again in my relocation guide. I give you a whole list of some of those big Fortune 500, Fortune 1000 companies that are right here in Columbus. So I got you covered there for sure. The seventh thing and the last thing I'm going to mention here is all around housing, and if I can be more specific, quality, affordable housing. And so if I can say as a whole, Columbus is still relatively affordable in comparison to other large metros. But as a resident here, I have definitely seen rent prices increasing. And so I think right now, if you were to ask me kind of a blanket statement, I'm going to tell you, if you're looking for an apartment, even a house for that matter, 2 bedrooms or above, you are definitely at about $1,000, if not $1,100 or $1,200 a month easily. Easily. Now, listen, don't get me wrong, different areas, there are areas in Columbus where you can get a 2-bedroom for under $1,000, but if I can just go blanket statement what I see overall, that's what you're looking at to kind of put you in the right mindset. Now, I'm showing you here, I did find this website that I thought was pretty cool that breaks out our different neighborhoods or communities and kind of gives you like an average rent for those respective areas. Kind of neat. I'll make sure I link this down in the description box below. But again, think about this, you know, various areas can have rent prices less or more, but I think for us as a whole, we're definitely at about $1,000 to $1,200 a month for rent. And I think if you're looking to purchase a home, I believe our average sales price is just over $200,000 here in Columbus. And again, depending on your areas, you can find housing for less than that. I have clients, they help every day do that, and you're certainly going to find homes that are well over that as well. But I think in the bigger picture, what I want to drive home here is, you know, according to the numbers and the data, Columbus is still an affordable city. I think right now our unemployment rate is at 4% or just under 4%, and our median rent is about $1,200, which is below the national average as well. So our data numbers are all below national averages based on the sources that I found. Well, with that, I want to make sure I plug 2 more videos here that I think you should watch as you're exploring living here, relocating here, or moving to Columbus. One is 10 reasons why I think Columbus rocks. It is an awesome city, but I give you some reasons why I think Columbus is a pretty cool city. And then why I think folks always want to know the pros and cons of why you should live here. So definitely check out these 2 videos. Don't forget to download my free relocation guide, completely free to you as a resource for you to continue to do your exploring. And then as always, if you have any comments, any questions as you're doing your research, reach out to me in the comment section below. I am always active there. I will answer any questions, get you any information that I can. So with that, that is all I have for now. Thank you so much for watching. Stay fabulous and productive, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care.